Let's see if it pops up the notification. Are we live?
All right. Let's see if it says that we're live for 8 seconds. Caribbean Sea, East Coast for the last month and a little bit more than a month and a half.
Yep.
And now we are we're just coming on live to hang out with you, see what's going on in your life. And,
Sounds working.
Sounds working.
Sounds
cool.
working. Some silly stuff that happened this week, just like living on Bonaire. There's of like little lizards and iguanas that visit us every day. Big iguanas. And the big iguana ate our basil plant for a second time. I've been trying to revitalize it. They keep coming back. They know we're growing basil.
Yes. So after that, yesterday, we actually saw that same green iguana over on the couch, the outdoor couch over here, and he was going towards the mint plant.
Yeah.
Looks like Jared and Telsey are on. What's up? How's it going?
Living lucky.
Living lucky.
Woo! Can you guys tell us what living lucky means again? It's really adorable.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, is it both of y'all there watching? Living lucky?
These two are so cute. They're working on like a lifestyle brand and breaking into the YouTube scene.
Just starting it, and I think that they're going to have their first video up hopefully within the next week.
We're waiting. We're waiting for it. We'll have
living
the
life as
out.
we know it. Lucky. Living life as we know it.
That's
just
cute.
Jared Telsey is working. Okay, well, maybe Telsey can catch the replay.
Give her a hug for me.
Yeah. Well, thanks for jumping on. Feel free to chat with us, ask questions or whatever you want. And this is kind of an open forum, so to speak. There's not really much structure, but we'll be on here for maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour. Just depends on what's
where the
coming up.
Goes,
yeah,
right?
For sure.
Yeah. So we've got some big things coming up. We've been on Bonaire for a couple months now, traveling full time for over 2 years.
Yep.
We have like a big confession. We're starting to get kind of nesty.
Just a little nesty.
Like we miss having a bed that we love. We miss having a kitchen space that we always love. We don't always love the kitchen that we have. What else is kind of like those creature comforts?
Having a comfortable place to get work done. Because traveling, you're always changing locations of where you're editing videos or editing your website or blog or creating content and e-courses and stuff. What's up, Blue Smoke Barbecue? Just joined the channel. Nice job, guys.
BBQ.
Parker in San Diego.
Oh, did we meet you on Cooking with Corey? Shout out to Cooking with Corey.
Yeah, if you like cooking, Corey's got some cool, a cool cooking channel.
Heck yeah,
I don't think he's on right now. Yeah.
It's good to have a set home and a place to call yours, but also to be able to live an adventure. That is so true. That's kind of what we're missing, I think. Like traveling full time has been so cool, and we've learned so much about ourselves. What we like, what we really don't like a lot about that. We learned a lot about running our business online and shitty Wi-Fi and like things like this. Example, when we went to Galapagos, we had, I think, about 14 days on the island, but with travel days in there, it was like 12 days on what island? Santa Cruz. We're on Santa Cruz. And while we were there, we didn't get ahead of ourselves with our YouTube videos because we had literally just gone on this massive road trip around Ecuador, and we were doing a sponsorship deal. So we wanted to blow those videos out of the water. So we really worked our butts off on those videos. And then we didn't have very much time between there and Galapagos. So when we got to Galapagos, we still had to work, but we're like, when in our life are we ever going to get to go to Galapagos? Like, it was a big deal that we were there. We both had it on our wish list forever. So like, it would have been nice to get ahead, and we don't always get ahead. And I think that like sometimes when we're traveling, we want to explore more. But because we have our business, we don't always get to explore to the extent that we want. We just get to like bask in an amazing view. Mm-hmm. And in the beginning of being an entrepreneur, that has to be okay. It has to be okay in your business. Like, you have to be fine with that. Like, if you're going to build a business and travel, you got to be okay with that. Yeah. Sometimes I just wish we had a home base so we could smash a bunch of work and then we could go just like lounge on a beach and swim and
yeah, absolutely. I just want to take a break real quick and just tell everybody thank you for jumping on. What's up, Leonard? Hey, Leonard. That is awesome story you've got going on. Living Lucky, Jared and Telsey. Woo! We really appreciate everybody jumping on. And we also want to say a huge thank you to all of our patrons. So we have one patron, and that's my mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks for being our patron. We really appreciate you. And also, we want to let everybody know that all of our patrons, my mom, got the physical postcard in the mail the other day, and she messaged, "Oh my gosh, the postcard was great." So at a certain tier level and above, we send out physical postcards to the patrons. So
and they're pictures that we took.
Yep. Pictures we take. So thank you for everybody. Everybody's comments, questions on our videos helps us to produce content. As Aaron was talking about, like traveling full time, a lot of people on YouTube view travel channels like this is all that you're doing is you're just traveling from one place to another. And it is one of those things that you're just constantly on an adventure. Yeah, it is an adventure. Life's an adventure because we're just constantly moving around and getting to explore, but also knowing that it takes time to edit videos and to edit videos in a way that keeps people wanting to come back to watch them, because like we're not the perfect film editors. I mean, we just learned how to edit film about a year ago. Like,
yeah, just over.
Before that, we were just using our iPhone and just going live on Facebook and not really creating any films that tell a story. And so that was something that we wanted to do, is to be able to tell a story of our lives and like where we came from. Like, I was a firefighter for 9 years before I put my boots on the shelf back in April of 2017 and started traveling full time. And Aaron was a hairstylist for 11 years. Yeah. So, I mean, like, we both have a background of not online business, of not like being in the spotlight, so to speak. Like YouTube, people view YouTube as like, oh my gosh, this is like people with like production experience, and it doesn't take that in order to do this.
Yeah.
And that was a huge change and a huge shift for us, because like we saw what it was that we wanted to create for ourselves, but also what we wanted to create, even more importantly, the impact that we want to make in other people's lives with the inspiration that, even for me, it's that thing. It's like, there's ups, there's downs. There's sometimes that I'm just like, my gosh, this is a lot more difficult than I ever thought that it may be.
Yeah.
And so it's like, what do you do? Well, it's like, all right. I was just talking to Aaron a little earlier that, going back to the job would be the lazy way to get through life, because we work more as entrepreneurs than I've ever worked physically in another job.
Yeah, no, that's true. I think like the cool thing about being entrepreneurs is like, this is our baby, and like we've built it from the ground up, and we've had serious growth pains with it, but we've also had really beautiful reward, like meeting people from all over the world on here and getting to inspire people. Like I think my original goal with business was to inspire people. And anytime that someone says that we've inspired them in some kind of way, like, I am fully tickled. Brian too. Like, we're like, oh my God. Like Jared, Living Lucky, Jared and Telsey, they said that they're pushing themselves now to share their adventure because of us. We were like, what? Like, we were both just really tickled by
and
that.
we met both of them before we even had our YouTube channel, and we're actually using YouTube. Like July of 2018 is when we started actually using YouTube and learning how to film more than just like doing talking head stuff. So it was definitely a journey. And so I think like looking at the title of this particular live, like, you know, having that travel life, but being able to shift it in a way that is more purposeful. Like, we still love travel and we want to hit all the different continents, but we also like living out of a 45-liter Osprey Sojourn bag. Each of us is pretty tight.
It's challenging.
Yeah. And like, there's some cameras that I would love to have to be able to produce some really, really cool, films and stuff, but like, it's just impossible to carry that amount of stuff. So we're thinking in order to continue traveling, but to have more gear with us, we need a vehicle. We need a vehicle to be able to do that. And so we've been kind of tossing around the idea of like maybe doing a van conversion, and neither of us have visited all through Canada or even the US for that fact. And so like, I think that traveling in Canada and the US and then going through Mexico, Central America, because you could drive all the way down to Panama before you have to ship your vehicle. So I'm thinking that maybe we should do some sort of conversion of some kind.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, what do you guys think? Like a bus, like what do they call them? Schoolies or something like that?
We know they're called schoolies.
We've
schoolies. Researched the shit out of this, just so you know. We've been doing a lot of research. I think that it was in maybe November or something, we came across this whole van life idea. And we were like, ooh, van life, that sounds cool. And we started doing a ton of research and watching like every YouTube video under the sun, the moon, and the stars about van life. And we started taking serious notes about all the components and appliances and things that would go into a van. And then when we were in Santa Marta, Colombia, our kitchen was so miniature. And the ceiling was slanted like this. Like, I could hardly fit under it. And I'm 5'1". And Brian, to do dishes, was literally like hunched over. And then every time that we opened the fridge door, one of us would be like pinned in the corner of this little tiny kitchen. And we were like, van life's not for us. And we were just like, no, we were getting frustrated in the kitchen. And we love cooking. We love cooking together. And we were like, okay, van life's not the thing. So we put that idea far back on the shelf to get dusty. And then we were just like, let's just keep doing this travel full-time thing and keep doing that. And then we came across this permaculture idea. And we were like, oh, maybe we should just buy a homestead and we can start growing a food forest and grow all of our own food. And we can get a goat and chickens and all these things. Then we were like, but are we ready to stop traveling? And then we realized about the schoolie thing. And it's become very attractive to us. So we're actually going home for me. We're going up to Canada. Brian's coming. We're going to go out there and we are going to start shopping for school buses.
What?
I don't know how long it's going to take.
How crazy do you guys think it is? And like, what are your ideas around this? Like, would that be interesting to watch a conversion happen? And also like the adventures that we can go on, that we can take you along with us. Let us know in the comments. We'd love to know. And also, thank you for everybody who's jumping on. We really appreciate everybody being here. This is kind of an open forum. There's not really any particular type of topic other than, you know, shifting in our lives. Like, this is something that's normal for humans, like to be able to shift and grow. And as time goes on, like, we see the direction of like where it all started to where it is now, and then starting to paint the future. And I think that a lot of this, like the idea formation, is like attributed to us starting to like do the bullet journal. And so keeping track of like, what are our goals, and, you know, what are the big goals, and what are the different sprints that we're going to do to get down to the task level to achieve all the little sections throughout, to achieve those goals, to get to more places, to be able to inspire more people, to go visit permaculture farms and be able to visit other people who are living van life and schoolie life and tiny houses and stuff like that.
Just like people that are inspiring others to do cool things, like Pad Crew 6. We just bumped into your channel. We saw you guys come on to our channel. Then we checked you guys out. How's it going? Like Live in Lockheed, they just said we could go do some double date adventures. Like that's the kind of stuff we want to do. And we feel like if we can just like drive to people and meet up and do cool videos, that would just be so fun.
Yeah.
And then we can like ferment kombucha and stuff on the bus, and just like have a real yoga mat that's not a towel.
Real yoga
we could
mat
get
would
a
be
drone.
Nice. Oh, we would love to get a drone. That would be so awesome.
We borrowed one.
Yeah, I remember back when we were in Ecuador on the 10-day road trip with Ecuador Freedom Bike Rental, we were able to borrow their drone and take it through the mountains with us, and got some really cool footage over the ocean while we're driving on the beach. If you haven't seen those videos, head over to our YouTube channel at the playlist after we're done with our live here and check out the Ecuador road trip videos. Like there's 10 of them in there, and it was a whole lot of fun for going on that adventure.
Yeah. Oh, you're going skydiving. We saw that on your video while your kid was jumping on the trampoline. Can he go?
Yeah, is he old enough to go? Is he tall enough to go? I know that there's a height requirement on things, but I think falling to the earth, you just have to be strapped to the parachute, really. I've been skydiving one time way back when I was younger, and that was a lot of fun. Yeah, you're way up high in the sky, and you can't see any cars or anything on the roads, but then as you get closer, all of a sudden you start seeing little lines, and you're like, oh my gosh, there's cars down there. And to think that you're that far up, and there's actual full-size humans in those cars. Like it makes you feel like, wow, how small we really are as humans compared to how vast just the earth is, you know, let alone the universe also.
I've been feeling like that in the ocean lately. Every time we jump in the ocean, I'm just like, we're just a little drop of water. Like that's all we are. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the big shift that we're planning on making, is to go get a bus.
Yeah.
I think it'd be so fun. It'd probably be one of the most fun things. We've been loving building this business and getting into editing film and stuff like that. And I just think that this is going to allow us to take our film game to another level, because we'll be able to carry more cameras and stuff like that. We're really into documentaries. So, I mean, I could totally see us filming docs and stuff like that. Yeah, get a bus.
Crew says, get a bus. Sweet. Yes.
Would you watch the conversion? Is that interesting to you?
Is that something that you're wondering about?
Would you travel with your huge family in a bus also? I'd love to know about that.
We've seen some schoolie conversions where they've got like a 6-pack family or 7 people in a schoolie sort of thing. And there's all sorts of different sizes. So like, it's not like a one size fits all sort of thing. And so I like, we've got an idea about possibly about the size, maybe from the outside exterior length, 30 to 35 feet or so. When I was in the fire department, I drove a Quint, which had a big 105-foot aerial ladder on top, and it had an engine so that we could pump water through it also. And that thing was 80,000 pounds and 42 feet long, 9 feet wide, 12 feet tall. And that was a beast to drive. Like you're driving it down the road and you're touching the dotted lines on both sides of the road in most cases.
Do you think the bus will be that big?
No, I think the bus is a little bit smaller. I think most buses are only like 8.5 feet wide.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we won't be touching both lines depending on where we're at, which would be awesome. So Pad Crew says yes. And yes, I would have looked at different options.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's
so awesome. So any comments or questions about anything like travel related or online business or
we're happy to chat.
Goals,
we'll stick around for
dreams. But we're right here in Bonaire, which is off the coast of Venezuela by about 50 miles or so.
Mm-hmm.
There's little lizards that are like running around in the yard here. We're outside right now. This is like just a little corner area that we're in right now. And it's about lunchtime.
Yeah, Brian's always hungry.
I'm always hungry.
I'm always hungry too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like as for goals and stuff, when it comes to mapping out goals, it really helps to journal them out. Like we've been taking a lot of notes and doing a lot of journaling about this and just like research, because in the past, actually, some of the biggest mistakes that we've made, we didn't research enough. We just kind of like dove in head first and we're both just like so optimistic about everything that we're like, yeah, we dive in and then we're like, oh, that was not our best decision.
A couple of years later, you're like, ooh.
Oh, but then like every decision that you make is a learning experience and like a chance to stretch and grow outside of your comfort zone and who you once were to the person that you're becoming. And I think for us, like we've like kind of got this like travel the world thing dialed in pretty good. And now we're like, man, it'd be really cool to explore a new adventure, get our hands dirty again and do some like really creative stuff with our hands and then bring that stuff that we really love into our channel a little bit more, do like a really like real life vlogging stuff and like DIY stuff and just kind of share the stuff that we're doing.
Yeah, we're both like super creative whenever it comes to like building stuff. And so like I've done a lot with woodworking in my life, building decks and pergolas and furniture and cabinets. And I was even like commissioned once to build, the mixing boards that they use in like audio studios.
For a DJ?
That like the mixing studio, the mixing tables that are just massive with all the little slides and stuff. So this one company out of Texas was all like, "Hey, can you build us a new panel like cradle, basically?" And so this is where they're going to put like this freaking like, I don't know, it was like 4 feet long or something, this mixing table. And so I built one of those. What does Blue Smoke say?
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so Blue Smoke BBQ says the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter makes a great van for conversion, super roomy and very reliable. My brother and I did a conversion on one of our surf trips. Highly recommend this van since it's very reliable. That's cool. We were gonna get a Mercedes Sprinter. That was like our original idea with this whole like moving home thing. But we were just like, man, we kind of want something really
a little bit bigger. Yeah. But not quite like an RV, because RVs are built with really lightweight construction. And when they crash, it looks like a freaking tornado hit them and they're all over the place. And so like something that we found is that school buses are built to be able to roll over, stay on their roof, stay on their wheels and stuff. And they don't fall apart at all because children are very valuable. And then also the engines on them are designed to run for more than 500,000 miles. And so like, a lot of the people that we've chatted with about the engines, they're all like, if you find one that's in the 100,000 to 200,000 range, they're just now getting broken in and just like super efficient and stuff like that. So like that might be an option that we go to also. But Mercedes Sprinter vans also go on and on because Mercedes engines are pretty awesome as well.
Yep. Pad Crew 6 Family Vlog has a great question. They said, how do you guys just take the leap on taking YouTube full time? Okay, so this is the truth. YouTube wasn't our first thing.
No, it wasn't.
We started with Facebook and we did Facebook for ages,
couple years.
2 years. We put almost all of our eggs in the YouTube basket.
Facebook basket.
basket story, 2 years into Facebook and going live and building an audience and stuff. And then we got into creating e-courses because everyone was kind of like, how are you doing this online business thing? How do you build a blog and a website? How do you do social media and branding and all this stuff? So we started filming e-courses. We started
showing what we were doing.
Showing what we were doing. At first, we were just selling e-courses a la carte, and people were jumping into our e-courses for like branding and goal setting and blog building and running ads on Facebook. We got a course for all those things, and even filming video. Brian Brother filmed us a class originally for beginners on how to edit using Adobe Premiere. So we have an e-course on that. So we have several e-courses now. It's like over 9 e-courses that we've created, plus like tons of training classes and stuff. So we haven't been relying on YouTube as our number one thing. We're not even monetized yet on YouTube because we don't have 4,000 hours of watch time, because we just started this like just over a year being serious on it. We don't have the 4,000 view time, watch hours, and we also don't have 1,000 subscribers yet, which is fine because we've started building a business off of YouTube, and it's just like all the little components. We're part of affiliate stuff. Originally we did network marketing. We don't do network marketing anymore. Yeah, we are. And we also offer consultation stuff. We do a lot of consultation work. So we have like the do-it-yourself stuff where we teach classes on that. And then we also have the done-for-you stuff where it's like, you just want a website up, we'll do that for you.
And if you want to check out our e-courses, I dropped a link in the comments that'll take you to all of them.
Yeah.
So something to think about, though, also is that it's not necessarily like you go onto YouTube and you get the 1,000 subscribers, you get 4,000 hours of watch time, but you also have to look at how much YouTube is paying for ads that are run. So like ads are not generally the number one thing that people are relying on to fund going full-time on YouTube. There's other things that they're doing. They've got t-shirt shops there. They've got knowledge commerce. They've got affiliates. There's all sorts of different ways to make sales even before you have that 1,000 subscriber, 4,000 hours of watch time. And so the thing to like focus on is, what is the mission of the channel and what are the things that go along with my channel topics that make sense? So like, you know, there's also t-shirts, like you can do print on demand t-shirts. I know that Jared and Telsey from Living Locky, they're going to be doing some t-shirts. I got a sneak peek today at their site. Thanks, guys.
I didn't get to see it.
Oh, I think you were taking a shower when I was looking at it. Yeah.
I'll creep on you guys. Don't worry.
Because they're about to launch their channel, and I'm super excited to check that out. Hey, thanks for hanging out, Blue Smoke.
Yeah.
It was great to have you on. Great to meet you.
Yeah, it'd be super cool
Parker.
to do a guest thing together on the BB Smoke Late Show.
Yeah.
That'd be so fun.
Oh, we love barbecuing. Absolutely love barbecuing.
Maybe we could barbecue at the same time.
That would be cool. And then film it at the same time, and then we could like share footage and make a video or something. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Right now we've got a little smoky barbecue. It's like one of those mini Weber's that we've been using. It's literally like, Hibachi is another name for them also.
Oh, that's a brand.
Yeah, Hibachi is a brand. Weber's a brand, but also that style of grill, I think, is called a hibachi.
It's just like a little thing.
Just a little bitty thing.
It's a big
thing. Little. So it's not where, getting back to like, when do you take the leap? Like everybody's situation's completely different. Like when we took the leap, I didn't have to work in the fire department anymore. It was 9 years in the department. So I quit early. I retired early from that. I sold a house and everything in it. So that gave us some funds also, but we also had our website. We also were already making affiliate sales and commissions and stuff like that. Not from anything that we personally owned. It was over a year later after we got out and we were going through going through Central America that we started recording our first e-course and started creating the tribe. Now we've got the tribe membership with 9 e-courses in there. And we're actually we're in the planning phases of the next one right now, which is going to be about vlogging and putting together video in a way that tells a story so that, there's a beginning, middle, and end, and people will want to watch it throughout the entirety and stay on longer and subscribe and stuff like that.
Yeah. We actually 2 videos ago, we just put out a video about doing like really cool, more interesting videos. So if you're doing like talking head stuff like this, we're just like sitting there talking, that's all fine and good. But we give, I think, 6 tips in the talking head video where we're like, okay, these are things you can do to make your videos more interesting if you're just like teaching or educating and like sitting there talking. Just so you get a little taste. Another thing that I wanted to bring up was thanks to all of our new subscribers. Lately, we've had a ton
coming through
of new subs, which is super exciting. I know that
like Blue Smoke is brand new. Living Lockie's brand new subscriber. Pad Crew 6 Family Vlog. Thanks
Pretty
so
new.
much. Yeah, and that's all I can see right here, right now.
Yeah.
But have come through. It's been great.
Yeah, we're just like thrilled that people want to hang out with us and watch our content, and we're just trying to like keep up with it. We're not always perfect at posting 3 times a week. Lately, it's been more like 2. But we also are going through a lot of changes and working on some website stuff and just like making everything better and more in alignment with our hearts and the stuff that we want to really create and share with people. Because when you're building a business, things change. And I think that you really learn a lot about yourself and to come in to alignment with what feels really good to you versus like maybe just like regurgitating stuff that you learned. Those lessons become a part of you and then you can teach it in your own way.
Yeah. And it's all about shifting and being able to recognize when is a good time to pivot and shift because regardless of the type of brand, be it a physical product brand, be it an information brand, you can look at big companies throughout time have had to shift as things changed. Because if you think about like Apple, for instance, they didn't start off with the iPhone. But they got into the phone market. Like they started off with doing computers and stuff like that. And so like I remember the old Apple computers and how clunky they were, but now they're like super streamlined because like as times change, as technology changed, they had the forethought to adopt the new technology and be able to incorporate it in a way that is useful to other people. So as brands online, being on YouTube or being, having a website or anything like that, like being able to recognize when those shifts and watching the trends go as they go is super, super important. Oh, hi, Mom. Our patron's on.
Our number 1 patron.
Our number 1 patron.
Our one and only.
So Pad Crew 6 said that my wife just got offered to be a brand ambassador, but she has to start her own lifestyle channel. But it's hard for me because I have to edit and build any ideas on that. So
can you mix it into your own channel, like the Pad Crew 6?
Here's the thing about that. That's a lot of carts to be pushing down the track. And if one company comes to you and says, hey, I want to offer you a brand deal, but you need to start this new thing because this is what we want you to do. You got to like, is that what you want to do? Or is that what someone else wants you to do? Because like when it comes to brand deals, you have to think about the long-term impact of that. Like, is that the direction you're going to go? Because I can tell you as being 2 people putting out content here on the internet, it takes a lot of effort for one channel. Like it takes
so much effort.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to make your videos really good and interesting and keep people on them and like gain more subscribers, gain more audience retention. Like you can go look at your audience retention graphs and you can see exactly the moment that people fall off. For us, it's usually like one of us is rambling about something or both of us are rambling about something. And then people are like, peace, and they just leave. So I would put 100% of effort into one channel. That's just our advice because
and one brand.
We were doing 2 separate brands when we got started with Be Adventure Partners, and Be Adventure Partners was literally a love story. And he was doing BGL. I was doing Ms. B. We were both doing our own thing. And also Be Adventure Partners, 3 businesses. It was insane. It was so much work. We couldn't do anything really good because we were dividing our time. So when it comes to brand deals, I think something that we've really looked into is like ethics of the company, especially if it's like a clothing brand or something like that. Are they just getting like cheap stuff from another country that is like, I don't know, made in a sweatshop or something? Because that is 100,000,000% against our ethics as a business. So we don't want to be like feeding into pollution, bad ethics. And we also don't want to sacrifice our life and our time and our brand's message for another company. So if they're like trying to get you to do stuff that is not really in alignment with your brand, then it's not in alignment.
And guess what? That's a good decision that you get to make as a business owner.
And there's more companies out there who will work with you and be happy to work with you, especially when they see that you're pumping out really good quality content and you're good people. And you can write contracts, like you should write a contract when it comes to working with another company.
And those contracts include things like what is your brand doing for the company and what are they doing for you? And what's the deliverables each way so that you literally can check off a box where it's like, oh, we're going to create one video and we're going to have a shout out at the beginning and the end and a link in the description to their website. So like being very clear as to what the structure is, because like you don't want to get ever caught into a verbal agreement, because if a verbal agreement, obviously verbal agreements do stand up in court in some cases, but we're not lawyers and we can't vouch for that. We've never had that issue. But having it written down where both parties sign on it, like use DocuSign or something digital so that you can do it, the digital lifestyle, which is great. But that really allows you to put an end to whatever that deal was or is. Because if a company is not liking what you want to do, is that really a fit? Like versus trying to push and make it a fit just because we want to get our first brand deal. Like your brand is more important than their brand in your brand's case. Always
in that case.
Always, because your brand is something that's going to take you through the long haul. Now, I do want to say one thing about multiple brands. Sir Richard Branson says that if you have 250 businesses and you lose one, you still have 249. What he means by that is if you only have one business and something goes wrong in that one business, you have nothing. But he also talks about how when you're building a business, you work that one thing and you stay focused on that one thing. And once that's successful, then you can add onto your plate and build a team to take care of that first one. And so that's what he's done with the Virgin Group and all these different companies that he's done. He's got airlines, he's got mobile phones, he's got internet in space now. Like if you think about it, he's not doing all the work on those things, but it all started off with Virgin Records, a little record store where he wanted to, freaking pump out content and music and stuff. And guess what? He made it successful. Then he moved on to his next idea. And I guarantee you constantly have more ideas of things that they want to do because business is an idea that makes other people's lives better in some way. So look at your own brand. How is our brand contributing to the greater good of people's lives and making them feel, part of the community? of that brand, because that's going to build a very, very powerful brand that people are going to want to lock arms with. People are going to want to become, recurring customers and buy your products and services. Because let's face it, if you build a brand and you've got a product that no one's buying, well, where's the community aspect of it? Maybe there's not enough people who are interested in what you have. And we've run into that issue several times through the course of our business. And it's all about growing,
Yeah. Or like a product that we were offering wasn't really in alignment with like our business and our hearts, and people sniffed it out and they're like, we don't want this thing that you don't even really care that much about.
Yeah.
So that usually happens. Okay. So I asked what they were meaning by keepers.
Keepers. I just don't know the rules on saying subscribe. On YouTube, you just say, hey, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell to be notified, or whatever you want to say. Like, you're allowed to say subscribe to my channel on your YouTube videos that you're doing videos, your vlogs or whatever. Like, we've got a visual pop-up that says, hey, subscribe, bing. Yep. We have one at the end. We say it verbally.
We sometimes pop it up at the beginning.
It's in the description.
We test stuff out, and we kind of, like I mentioned with our analytics, we'll watch through a video, and if a bunch of people dip out at a certain point, then we get rid of the thing that we're testing. So if you do like a visual pop-up that has a subscribe, or a screen takeover that says subscribe, and people dip out during that, then you know not to put it there. Or you could try it in a different way. So there's always things that you can kind of experiment with, but definitely verbally say subscribe, share, just something with calls to action. Don't puke out a whole bunch of them at once.
Yeah.
Like if you say subscribe, share, go to our website, like you don't want to do a million things at once, because that's asking them to do a lot.
Here it is. Yes. So here's the issue. I think this is more of the issue here. When we are in the chat, I've been banned from a chat for saying subscribe.
Don't do that.
Okay, so YouTube has a sub for sub policy, which basically says you cannot ask anybody in chats or in comment sections on videos to subscribe to your channel. I tell you what, when people ask to, hey, we just followed your channel in our video comments, we just followed your channel and subscribed, we would appreciate reciprocation. We would reciprocate a subscribe back. I normally delete the comment and mark them as spam. Not every time, but it depends on how they come across, or if they're dropping links. It's against YouTube's terms of service to ask people for subscriptions in the chat and in the comment sections, because that's basically you going to someone else's house and eating all their food and not leaving any tip or any cash for paying for it.
Or it's like inviting, going to someone's house for dinner, eating all the dinner, and then being like, hey, I've got wine at my place. We should all go over to my place because my wine is better. These guys have cheap wine. Come drink my wine.
Yeah.
That's almost like saying like, you're here, you should leave and come over.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Okay, so something that we do, this is like an easy, simple cure for this, is go mix and mingle just like a normal person. Like,
add value.
Add value. Anytime you watch a video that you think is fantastic, comment on that video and say why. Say what you got out of it. Like really like contribute and leave a solid comment. Like you're leaving beautiful comments in our thread right now. Go and take that much time to, like, after you watch a video, and just plop out a comment that is meaningful, because other people will see it. And this can be in big influencers channels. And just kind of mix and mingle in the comments. Like something that's kind of a rule of thumb for us is, if it's not a massive channel, we don't do it. We'll go on a massive channel and just like comment on other people's comments. That's an easy way to just like mix and mingle without like stepping on people's toes, and never, ever, ever say sub for sub.
Never ask for a subscription, or never say, go check out my channel. Or if someone's asking a question on there and say, oh, I did a video about that, Don't do that either. Like you're trying to take people away from where they're already at. But if you think about it, there's some channels out there that have a couple 100,000. They may have, 10,000 subscribers and 1,000 comments every video. Well, those creators can't answer all the questions. And if you have an answer for a question that's on there, people normally go and give their opinion, but don't say I've got a channel that we talk about that or anything like that, because that looks like you're poaching. Like you're trying to poach for subscribers. You're out there like with your little poaching mouse. You're like, oh, let's see if we can, get some.
Do people still use mice these days?
Mice? I don't know.
Another thing, like we let some things slide. Like this one guy says, go check out my Instagram. Cool. Like, his channel's not the same as ours. Yeah. I think in a lot of cases we like let sub for sub slide or go check out my this or that in a lot of cases, because we're just like, we're not even the same kind of content. Yeah. We're teaching business too. So like using it as examples is fine with us. But just like ethically, I don't know. Just go mix and mingle and be a normal person that's likable, and people are comment on other people's comments. Like it's kind of a slow process if you're not running ads. We're not running any ads on YouTube because our goal is to grow this channel organically, unlike our Facebook where we ran a lot of ads and sent people to our ebooks and our training courses and all this stuff, and just like out of people liking posts and stuff, we invited them to our page and we grew a pretty substantial Facebook page based on the ads that we were running and just content and stuff. But our organic growth is like probably a bit more loyal. Yeah, our organic growth is always more loyal and likes our stuff. And so mixing and mingling, it seems like kind of like a slow and painful strategy, but it's also a really authentic and beautiful way to get people's attention and have people more like you show up on your channel versus like, I don't know, somebody who you don't relate with.
And I think probably also one thing to think about over and beyond getting subscribers or having people subscribe is, what is the goal of your channel? So write these questions down. What is the goal of your channel? Is the content I'm putting on the channel in line with those goals in some way? Like obviously storytelling and everything is super freaking important, and being able to like go out and have fun and vlog about it and everything. But wrapping together a story that supports the mission of the channel and the difference and the impact that each creator is wanting to make. So what is that? And then also think about monetization always. Like, how are you earning money from what you're doing? Because I tell you, it takes a long time to edit a video where you've got really buttery transitions and you've got all sorts of different sound effects going on that are in the background that adds to the ambiance and everything. And then picking out music and all sorts of stuff like that. It takes time to do all of that. Yep. So what are you doing to build content and create content that is, one, searchable? So you've got your thumbnail image and you've got your title and you've got the first like 2 or 3 lines of your description. Like all of this has to be super clickable so that people go to your channel. And when people go to the channel after they've done all that and they like what they watch, guess what? By you saying subscribe, by anybody saying subscribe in the channel they're watching it, you're more likely to get a subscription in that case, because you're delivering value to people. Yeah. That's what it's all about.
Asking them to subscribe is kind of like a reminder, because YouTube, it's so easy to just roll through video after video after video and just kind of like binge watch content, because content just keeps on coming and coming. So next thing you know, like you might watch one video from this like company or brand, and then next thing you know, you're on another channel and you forgot to go like their stuff, you forgot to go drop a comment on their stuff, and you forgot to subscribe to their stuff, because we're so quickly distracted and dragged onto other channels that we don't even realize it's happening. So something we do actually, like if we watch a bunch of stuff in a row, we'll both go back through our history list and we'll go back to those videos. We'll leave comments. If we like the channel, we'll subscribe. And if we want to be notified,
and if we want to get notified also, we'll hit the bell.
Yeah.
So like there's some channels that we're all like, oh, we want to subscribe so that it shows in our home screen feed. And then there's others that's like a timely sort of thing where you're like, oh, I need the notifications on this because I need to be notified every single time.
Yeah.
So it's like you kind of weigh which ones you hit the bell on and which ones you don't. Like there's nothing wrong with that. It's just how the whole ecosystem works.
Yep. Yeah. So I think that the main thing is like the more you participate on YouTube, the more your stuff gets bumped up because it's a social community. So your stuff gets bumped up. Also, just like people will see you. If you're commenting and stuff, like if you just throw a thumbs up, people aren't going to see you. But if you make sure to like leave a good comment for the creator and then mix and mingle with other people, it's helpful.
Yeah. So it's a huge process. It's all about learning and testing and learning how to read the analytics in the background because that's all important stuff. And it's I think it's fun to learn.
I am so surprised we went in this direction with this video. We were like literally just came on here to tell everybody that we're going to buy a school bus and
convert it.
We're going to convert it into our rolling home that we can take all over the place. So that's that. But thanks to everybody who showed up. We love having you. We love like engaging with you and just learning about you because it's super cool and that's what makes this fun.
Absolutely. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and click subscribe and hit the bell on our channel, Be Adventure Partners, so that you're notified every time we come out with a fresh new video about travel, online business, and we're going to get into some fun stuff, especially when we start doing the whole schoolie build and everything. It's just going to be really nice to have a rolling home base.
Yes. Yeah. We're so stoked.
Yeah.
So thanks for showing up. And until next time, friends.
Adventure on.
Adventure on. Lots of love, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.